Hey guys, Jonathan here at Knight Knowledge. Monsterlands is here and I've played it twice and I can safely say that it is everything that I was hoping for and more. It is a very enjoyable game. The problem though, it has a lot of rules. As you can see from the manual, it's 32 pages. This video today will go over what I think is the best way to teach yourself and others the main rules to the game. It will honestly be a lot, but once you actually play it, it makes a lot of sense and it's actually quite easy to absorb. So let's get started. The object of Monsterlands is to have the most points after 6 rounds or after the first person attains 30 points first. Points are derived in 4 different ways. The amount of glory a player has, denoted by the blue star, plus the amount of reputation a player has, denoted by the red star, plus the values of any amount of trophies a player has, in this case 3 and 2, and bonus points through having matching affinities of mercenaries and lands, as we discussed, is denoted by this symbol here in the top corners of the cards. Glory is obtained primarily through capturing monsters, killing monsters, settling lands, and completing dice rolling and contract quests. Reputation is gained by hiring additional mercenaries. Reputation is gained by hiring additional mercenaries, as you can see, denoted once again by the red star, 6, 4, 6, and 2. On the back of monster cards, when you defeat them, there will be trophies, and that is the trophy value. Players over the course of the game will have the opportunity to hire more mercenaries and settle lands that will have matching affinities, which are worth increasing amount of points. There are 4 phases to the game. The dice pool preparation phase, where players refer to their amount of glory to see how many additional dice to add to their dice pool. 2, the deployment phase is where players take turns placing dice either inside or outside the citadel or on settled lands. 3, the adventure phase, where missions and land battles are conducted as well as defense of the citadel. Finally, phase 4 is the cleanup phase. During the deployment phase, players use dice each round and place them in either inside the citadel, outside the citadel, and the settled lands. Inside the citadel, there are the following places. The Hunter's Lodge, where players use 1 dice that is either red or yellow to purchase as many traps as they can. Traps are used when combating monsters, which will help give them additional dice or increase dice roll values or other beneficial things. According to the clan tracker, you can only have a maximum of 5 traps at one time. Once a player has purchased as many traps as they can, the traps are then replaced. They are not replaced one at a time. This area is the alchemist shop. The player must use 1 purple dice, which will allow them to take any combination of 3 or 2 potions or venoms. A player, when sent to fight a monster, can have exactly 1 potion and 1 venom equipped. When potions are equipped on heroes, it can heal them 1 point of damage. Venoms can be applied in combat to increase the end value by 2. If you look at your clan tracker, you can only have 3 potions and 3 venoms at one time. This is the tavern. A player may place 1 red or yellow dice to purchase a mercenary to the left or a novice below. Purchasing a mercenary or novice card increases your reputation accordingly. Remember, your reputation is the red star symbol. A player may not purchase a mercenary if the reputation would exceed the glory, once again, the blue star. When a player obtains a mercenary, they obtain the appropriate dice immediately and place that mercenary to the right of the clan tracker board. A player may pay 2 gold before purchasing a mercenary to reset all the mercenaries currently showing with new ones, then can purchase one of the new mercenaries. This is the armory, where the player can place 1 red or 1 yellow dice to purchase up to 3 defense tokens for 2 gold each. Defense tokens are used when combating monsters outside the citadel to prevent damage. Once again, if we refer to our clan tracker board, you can have up to 5 defense tokens at one time. This is the pawn shop. A player may place any amount of dice of any color to get that many gold coins. This area is considered the bazaar. A player may place 1 red or 1 yellow dice to purchase exactly 1 equipment below. The cost of the equipment is denoted here in the top left, and the ability is in the bottom left. Whenever an equipment is purchased, it is immediately replaced from the draw pile on the right, just like the mercenaries when purchased. The last area inside the citadel is the mine, where players can either place 2 red dice in one of these 2 spots to earn either 6 or 4 gold respectively, or place 1 red dice here or here to earn 2 gold. Now you might be wondering, what is the difference between using a red and a yellow dice? And that's as follows. At the beginning of each round, all players roll any available yellow dice they own. When a yellow dice is placed in a location inside the citadel, they provide a monetary discount to whatever they're buying. A player can never get money back when making a purchase through a discount. So in this situation, the player has placed a 5 dice of yellow right here in the bazaar, because they're wanting to purchase an equipment right here. If they purchase this shield over here, it will provide a 5 gold discount and only cost them 3 gold. Now, there is a special rule when using yellow dice. If you place a yellow dice with a smaller number after another yellow dice in a specific area, you add those 2 dice values together. So in this situation, the first player used their dice to purchase the shield, which cost them 3 because they had a 5 value. The shield is purchased and the item is replaced with this new item. And if the next player uses their dice in the bazaar to purchase something and their dice value is a 2, the 2 values add up. As long as their dice is smaller than the previous yellow dice, then they add the 2 values together. In this case, 5 plus 2 is 7. So they can purchase anything on the field here for a 7 gold discount. In this case, they can buy this card right here, Mortis, for only 1 gold instead. If they chose to purchase this item right here, which typically costs 6 gold, it'll cost them nothing. Once again, as we talked about, you cannot get money back through a discount. So even though they have a discount of 7 and they want to purchase that item of 6, they're not going to get 1 gold back. There are 3 major areas that a player can deploy their dice outside of the citadel: the mission paths, the lands, and the entrance to the citadel. These are the mission paths, which will have 2 different missions each round, each with their own 2 paths. The mission on the left is a low-risk dice rolling mission, while the one on the right will be a zero-risk contract-based mission. Players must place an assignment token that represents their mercenary, the required dice, and any other requirements below. Players must place an assignment token that represents their mercenary, the required dice, and any other requirements below. So as we can see on the left-hand side, this dice rolling mission requires either a purple or yellow dice, and only one, which we have Poison, which is right here, assigned, with a purple dice. And then over here, we have Timbu, where you must have exactly one yellow dice plus a Venom token. For contract-based missions, once again, the ones on the right-hand side, you can choose to assign your character either on the right or the left path, and that will dictate what reward you'll get, denoted by here. On the right side, the person will get 5 gold, and on the left-hand side, they'll get 2 potions and 2 defense tokens. Dice rolling missions are either pass or fail. Basically what it's saying is that you will roll 1 dice, either the purple or the yellow that you place, and if you get a 2 or greater, you succeed. You will not get any glory, but you'll get 5 gold and 1 defense token. If you fail it though, you'll lose 2 glory. In the lands, there are 4 different paths that a player can assign their mercenary to. They will put their assignment tokens in one of these 4 spots and then must place the required dice below according to the path header. In this case, 1 red dice, 2 dice, that is either red, a combination of red or purple, 2 red dice, or 2 red dice. They may then place additional dice according to the path header, the bottom row here. In this case, they can place 3 additional purples, 1 additional purple in this column, 2 dice, either red or purple or a combination, and 2 purple dice. They may place any traps face down or defense tokens in the below square spots. Let's take a look at what that might look like. In this situation, I've assigned Poison to the second column here. Here's the assignment token. It required either 2 dice of a combination of red and or purple. So in this case, I did 2 reds. I added 1 additional purple dice according to the bottom row, and I've placed 2 traps and 1 defense token. Traps and defense tokens always takes up an entire square. They cannot occupy a square like this or like that. It always has to be one entire, I guess, 4x4 square. Finally, there may be times in which there's a monster at the entrance of the citadel, which causes certain areas of the citadel to be inaccessible. In this situation, the panic token is face up and reveals that you cannot use the Hunter's Lodge, where you purchase trap tokens. Players treat this exactly similar to the lands, except there are no path headers to tell you what dice are required. There are less places to put dice and traps, but there are some other bonuses, including for the top row, the player gets 2 additional defense, while the bottom row, you get 1 defense, but you get a 5 additional gold if your hero survives. During the adventure phase, missions are handled first. Starting with the mission on the left and the player on the left path, if filled, players conduct dice rolls. As we talked about before, In this mission, you must place one purple or one yellow dice, and you must roll 2 or greater to complete this mission. If you complete it, you get 5 gold and 1 defense token. If you fail, you lose 2 glory. If 2 players compete in a dice rolling mission, if they both succeed, the player with the highest modified total wins, and the other player only earns 2 gold. If they tie for rolls, say they both rolled a 4 each, then the player on the left path earns the stated reward. If they both fail the mission, they both suffer the penalty. For contract missions, players may choose to discard the resource depicted on the mission objective and receive the reward. Both players may earn the rewards, and there is no penalty for not fulfilling the contract-based mission. The reason why you would do this is to deny another player from getting the reward. So maybe the yellow player, Torko, doesn't want the third player from getting the potions and the defense tokens. So they place their assignment token in the left path, and they use one of their yellow dice. They do not have the necessary venom token that the green player does, but that does deny another player from getting those rewards. Once missions are conducted, the lands are handled. All players reveal their face-down traps and add any additional dice. So in this situation, the blue player, Dolphus, has 4 dice, has revealed his 2 traps, one which gives him an additional red dice, and the other one which makes any dice rolls the value of +3. And for the orange player, Shandy, they've revealed their trap over here, which gives them 2 purple dice. Shandy has 2 defense tokens equipped, while Dolphus has 1 defense token equipped. The player with the assignment token on the farthest left is first and always fights the monster. The monster attacks first, which in this case is this one over here, named Crinks. The monster attacks first, which is calculated by the number of black dice symbols on the monster card, in this case 3. 1 bonus dice is added if there is a matching affinity of the monster and the land. In this case, it doesn't. Crinks is fire affinity, while the land, called Rhynia, is blue affinity or water affinity. There are some monsters that have special abilities, which would be denoted right here, where if there's a matching affinity between monster and land, we'll give 2 bonus black attack dice instead of just 1. In this case, Crinks' special ability is that when he goes to attack the Citadel, which as we discussed was on the right-hand side, it will cause 2 panic tokens to be revealed. So 2 places in the Citadel will be inaccessible. The player to the left of the assigned player rolls the black dice, and any dice numbers 3 or greater is considered a hit, while a 1 or 2 is considered a miss. Players use defense tokens to stop 1 hit each. There are cards on mercenaries or equipment that provide defense talents that can be used once per round to stop 1 hit each. If injured by 1 hit, the player turns their assignment token over to the injured side. So if Dolphus got injured, you turn it over, and as you can see, is kind of gray, and it has the bleeding symbol on there. If they take another hit, they die, and their mercenary card is discarded and do not participate any further in the battle. A player may use 1 potion to heal 1 hit. A potion is assigned while the dice, traps, and defense tokens are being assigned. If a player survives the monster's attack, it is now their turn to attack. The number denoted here is what the player needs to roll to capture the monster or to eliminate the monster. Note that a player needs to have deployed at least one trap earlier to do so. The rewards for both options are on the right. So in this situation, if you capture Crinks, you will get 3 glory and 10 gold. If you manage to eliminate Crinks, you will get 6 glory and 1 trophy. Typically, capturing a monster will grant the player glory and gold, while typically eliminating a monster will give you more glory and a trophy. A trophy can be kept till the end of the game to be worth additional points, or at any time be traded in for 5 gold per trophy value. Trophies cannot be partially sold. In this case, if a player defeated Crinks, they would be worth 1 trophy value, and then they can trade it in once again for 5 gold. If Crinks was worth 2 trophy value, you can trade in the entire trophy and then get 10 gold instead. A player may choose to roll 1 dice at a time and stop rolling dice if they choose to. They would do this so that they can capture a monster rather than eliminate it by accident. If a player fails to defeat the monster or is killed by the monster's initial attack, the next assigned mercenary follows the same steps. The monster attacks, then the mercenary attacks. One thing of note is that at this point, the monster is injured and the previous mercenary's attack add to yours, making it easier to capture or eliminate. This process continues until the monster is defeated or it defeats all heroes in the 4 paths. As a side note, depending on where the mercenary is assigned on the track, they may get a special bonus, which is determined by the path header. So as we can see here, according to the path header, Dolphus would get an additional venom potion that he can use. If someone was in this column here, they would get 1 defense talent. In this one, Shandy would be able to roll or re-roll a red dice once. And if someone was in this column here, they would get to re-roll 1 purple dice. If a mercenary dies, remove their token to reveal how much glory the player gets. In this case, if Dolphus dies, he would give that player 2 glory. Remember, if a mercenary dies, you also reduce the reputation, which is denoted by the red star on your clan tracker, by the appropriate amount according to their mercenary card. If a player defeats a monster, the next assigned player tries to settle a land. They use their dice to get the appropriate number called the conquest value according to the land's card. In this case, 18 for the Rhynia location. If they get that number, they take the land and the appropriate glory denoted in the top right. If they have a mercenary that has a matching affinity with the land, they can link the two together. This causes the mercenary not to require income, which we'll talk about very shortly, and they won't leave the clan if income is not able to be paid. The land will also have a special ability. In this case, on your turn, if you own Rhynia, you can spend 2 red dice as your action, and it will allow you to purchase a mercenary of your choice for no gold. You still would need to have the appropriate amount of reputation. If a player fails to capture a land, there is no penalty, and that player's rolls are added to any other mercenaries' rolls that attempt the land on that turn. Any player that fails to capture a land or monster and survives get their choice of loot. Once all assigned mercenaries have had their turn, the game goes into the last phase, cleanup. During cleanup, the following actions are taken in this order. 1. Each player takes back their assignment tokens or mercenaries that were not killed. Any unused potions and venoms are put back into the clan tracker. Keep wounded mercenaries on their wounded side. Trap and defense tokens are always discarded, whether they are used or not. Step 2, spread panic. Move any monster that was attacked but not captured or eliminated during the adventure phase to the entrance of the citadel. So in this case situation, if Krynx was not eliminated, you would move his card to the entrance of the citadel, which is over here. When a monster moves to the front of the citadel, turn over one of the panic tokens to reveal what place within the citadel will be inaccessible this next round. In this case, it is the alchemy shop where you obtain potions and venoms. Step 3 is to replace dead leaders. If your leader was killed, which is the mercenary on the left-hand side of your clan tracker board, promote the available mercenary with the highest reputation from your clan to become the new leader by moving the mercenary card from the right side to the left side of your clan tracker board. Settled mercenaries are not available unless they're the last possible option to become leader. Step 4 is paying wages. For each mercenary, with the exception of your leader and any mercenary settled on land, you must pay wages in gold coins. Depending on where the glory token is, once again, denoted by the blue star symbol on the clan tracker, a player must pay 1, 2, or 3 gold for each mercenary on the right-hand side that is not on a settled land. In this situation, the left-hand mercenary, the leader, Poison, doesn't pay wages and will never leave you. On the right-hand side is Timbaloo, who is not on a settled land. And because the glory tracker is in the second row, the player must pay 2 gold per mercenary on the right. In this case, they'll be paying 2 gold this round. If the glory was here in the first row, they would pay 1 gold for Timbaloo's income. If it was down here in this row, then it would cost 3 gold. If you cannot pay the full wages, first pay all the gold you have. Then the mercenary with the highest reputation, excluding your leader and any settled mercenaries, deserts. If there's a tie for reputation, then you get to choose which one you want to discard. Discard their card and their token. If you can, you may reassign equipment they had to other mercenaries, otherwise discard it. In this situation, if the player could not pay the income, they would get rid of all their gold and they would lose Karuna, the mercenary at the bottom here, because her value is 6, while Timbaloo is only 1. Step 6 is called Glory Verification. Players check to see whether they have 30 or more glory, once again, the blue star, or it is round 6. The game ends if that is the case, and players total up their scores to determine the winner. The 6th step is called Board Reset, where we remove dice both in the Citadel and outside in the lands. Players take them directly back into their personal dice pools. Make sure that they do dice pool verifications based off their glory according to their clan tracker. Once that is done, discard the remaining mission dice and replace them with new ones. Remember, according to my prior video, the mission on the left should always have an A in the bottom right, and the mission on the right should always have a B. The A will mean that it will always be a dice rolling mission, while the one on the right, B, will always be a contract-based mission. If any spaces for monsters or lands are empty, replace them with the appropriate kind. So Krink's moved, so Skirball takes his place, and actually both would be empty, so we would replace the land and the monster. Loot tokens, trap tokens, mercenaries in the tavern all stay. Loot tokens are refilled at the end of each land battle. Step 7 of the cleanup phase is assigning the first player tile. It's given to the player with the least reputation, once again denoted by the red star. On a tie, the current first player passes the tile to the tied player closest to his right. The last step of the cleanup phase is moving the round marker down one. So those are the 4 phases to the Monsterlands gameplay. Remember, at the end of the 6th round, or once the first player has 30 or more glory at the end of a round, the game ends, and players calculate their victory points. To recap on that, what a player does to calculate their victory points is as follows. You add your glory, which once again is the blue star, with your reputation, which is the red star. You then add 1 to 3 victory points depending on each trophy that you may or you may not have. Lastly, count the number of matching affinity tokens you have on mercenaries and lands and score the points as follows. Repeat this step for each affinity in the game. On a tie, use tiebreakers between the tied clans in the following order: the leader with the highest reputation, then the most trophies, then the most gold coins. If still tied, repeat the game with all the players. So without going into any of the smaller, more minute details and rules of Monsterlands, those are the major rules of how to play the game. I hope this video helped you understand how to play. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comments. Leave a like if this helped you out. To stay current with any videos that I produce, feel free to subscribe. As always, visit my blog, nightknowledge.com, for any articles on board games, photography, or learning opportunities. I'm hoping to add a video very shortly of a 2-player game between my wife and I. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.